this was enacted to provide a political layer on the top of the rules, regulation, and administration. This political layer has been construed and conceived with a greater fault and with that again with the same intention to rule slave Indians. That's why the political system which has been created, which is coming in power with your vote, they are not accountable to you. They don't care for you. They are elected by your vote, but they owe all the responsibility to their party. They are not accountable to you. They don't care for you, as simple as that.
Basically, the whole system is corrupt. The thing is this.
Corruption is a manifestation, not root. We are talking about the root. So we will come to the corruption also. But give me 1 minute more to really make you appreciate this dimension. Because this dimension is very, very critical. Because this dimension is having the rule-making power, right? Now, these political party, to whom they are giving tickets? Are they giving tickets to the very meritorious people?
No, anyone they want, their choice.
No, they are giving. I have basically conceived that they are generally giving the tickets to the 5 category people, and I will appreciate
selling it basically.
I will appreciate if you can add 1 or 2 category more in it. So the 5 categories. Number 1 category is that is whosoever can give them the more money, they are inclined to give the ticket to that person. Yes. Right, number 1.
Yes.
Number 2, they are giving tickets to their wards of their leaders, Akash. Right? I mean, though with the 0-day experience, right? And they have been given the ticket if they are lucky enough to win, and they have been offered ministerial berth also, and sometime with the cabinet berth, and they are born with the ambition to become chief minister or maybe the prime minister as well. Right? So that is the 2nd category. Then 3rd category, they give the ticket on the basis of the caste and religion with to whosoever is having the winnability or likelihood to win election. But at the same time, there is a condition. Those people should not be meritorious. Because if they are meritorious, then they will create a challenge to the present incumbent of the power, so-called high command. So they should be less meritorious than the people those who are sitting in high command. And if by mistake they will give the ticket to this little more meritorious people because they could not realize that they are meritorious people, the moment they will realize that
sir, this is something next to impossible to change in this particular.
Oh, this is so easy. It is doable within 9 days. So first have the patience to listen me, right? And everywhere I will allow you to contribute so that there will be value addition. I can learn from your perspective. You can learn from my perspective because you may be having some personal experience which may not be.
Sir, I have because my father, IS officer, UP cadre, Mr. Ramashankar. He retired in 2016 from Lucknow.
Okay.
And my Tauji, HS Balwaria, he was IPS UP cadre. You must be knowing him. Hoshiyar Singh Balwaria. He was DG UP before he retired. So
great.
I have a lot of personal experience. So
I expect you to really add into the deliberation, contribute, add the value to this deliberation. And you can add to the stories also if you are having some stories in your personal knowledge, right? So the 3rd category is the giving the ticket on the basis of caste and religion to the person having likelihood of winning election or winnability. But at the same time, there is a condition: they should not be meritorious. At least they should be less meritorious than people sitting in the high command. Right? That is the 3rd category. Then 4th category comes the people, those who are from the other political parties, and they have come to the conclusion that their part of the grass is already dried, and there is no chance of coming to the power. And for the sake of the power and to maintain their clout, they are switching over Dal Badlu Lok, and they will join another party, and these party people will offer them dayas, will offer them, garland them, will shawl and nariyal, and then will give them the ticket and will offer them the ministerial berth also. So that is the 4th category, right? And fifth category, the giving the tickets to the criminals. And
Yes.
now it is very unfortunate. I am very sure you must be knowing that, being a learned lawyer, that our parliament, which is currently current parliament, which is 19 to 24.
Most of them are having FIRs registered against them. Many of them.
When we talk most, then we are not really factually correct. Let's talk factually correct dimension. 42% of them, as per their own admission, they are having criminal record, and 29% of them, they are having heinous criminal record to their record, like murders, kidnapping, rape, loot, dacoity, etc. So this political party, they don't find good people to join them.
Are we talking about any particular party here? All the parties.
Everybody is doing the same. No party is better. No party is better.
I also think same.
They are equally guilty. And if we talk of the BJP, it is no better. I would like to say very stressfully. So they might be having a different face, but the reality is different. And then fifth category is about the criminals, which we said. Do you know that in UP, you hails from the UP state, you must be knowing that out of 403 MLAs which has been elected recently, 205 of them, they are having the criminal record, which makes it 51%.
Definitely, sir. Most of them. That is why I said.
I am saying, to be precise, 205, which makes it 51%. So the criminals would be your lawmaker. How unfortunate it is.
Yes.
Right? Now, we have to discuss a little bit about how they really win the election. Whether it's their popularity or something else is playing the magic. So, before going to the second point, I would like to now really request you to add value to the point I have narrated. Would you like to remove any category, or would you like to add any category?
Sir, I think all the categories are apt.
Okay, so you agree with that by and large, and you won't like to add anything, or at least not immediately. You may like to add later on, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
okay.
I'll think about it.
And then you can come out and we can add those category while we will be deliberating second time, right?
Yeah.
Now let's talk how they really win election. So I have done certain analysis about their winning election. So each party has created IT cells, and IT cell is having three type of work. Number one, their schemes, their work, which may not be delivering anything on ground, they will blow it out of proportion to do their Mahima Mandan, right? The second is that opponent parties' work, or even their saying or communication, that will be picked up out of the context and that will be blown out of proportion, and just to minimize their work, right? So that is the second work of the IT. And the third important work of the IT cell of these parties, they are now very aggressively hunting. You must have heard about the CEO hunting or head hunting. So in corporate world, they hunt for the CEO, right? And they offer them the big salaries. In the similar way, these IT cells, they hunt for the social media handlers, those who with their own hard work, they could created viewership in lakhs and crores. And then they are brought on the purchase list, they are bought and they are paid. And then they become the mouthpiece of these political parties. And you can, if you analyze that social media, you can find out many of them, they are mouthpiece of one or other. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Okay. So now everything has become paid, IT cell, social media. Now comes to the third dimension, that is the print media and electronic media. Now there's a lot of paid news. So you can see the budget which is being spent by the government and by these political parties for pampering this electronic media and print media. And the print, there's nobody, because these people are also really living for their livelihood, and they are just puppet in the hand of their owner. And they cannot write beyond a point. So they are just puppet. They really, at this stage, they don't have the right to say they are the fourth pillar of democracy.
Yeah, the level of journalism has gone very down.
Basically, if I think over it, I always feel it is largely on account of livelihood option. उन्हें अपने पेट पालना है, दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम.
जो पैसे इनको मिलेंगे अच्छे तो ये कुछ भी छाप देते हैं या कुछ भी डाल देते हैं.
हाँ, अब तो उससे आगे चला गया है. अब तो जो जनसंपर्क वगैरह बताता है कि सर इसको बुलाओ, ये कहना है उसे, राइट. यदि कुछ गलत कहा जा रहा है या कुछ गलत लिखा जा रहा है तो ये विल से कि सर इसको चेंज करो. जहां जिसकी ज्यादा चल रही है, जो ज्यादा पैसा दे रहा है, वो कहेगा भाई पब्लिश होने के पहले मेरे पास अप्रूवल के लिए भेजो. नाउ सिचुएशन इज वेरी वेरी बैड. Earlier we used to go to listen our popular leader, even sometime even walking kilometers together. Now these political party made it also a paid Aam Sabha, where that buses and trucks or lorries are sent, and arrangement for their breakfast, lunch and dinner is also made, and they are paid 500 rupees, and they are not the voter. And these Aam Sabha, they have also become the paid Aam Sabhaएं, and a kind of impression is being created that they are very popular.
Yeah.
Now I will come to the sixth dimension, that is survey. So in present corporate world, if you look, say I will go a little back. I will say that earlier when we were the students, and you must have also read that, we used to extrapolate present demand for the future demand, right? Because what is the demand now, and looking at the trend, we will extrapolate it the future demand, right? Now it is not behaving that way. Now startups are coming, many people are coming. They are thinking what you need, and they are creating product of your requirement, and they are saying, hey, I have created a product, you need it. Similarly, political party will give their survey what they feel, what could be the best performance and which seat they can win, and that performance will be given to this so-called paid surveyor, and they will put it into the very logical kind of analysis and report, and these all kind of the paid things will be put together to realize that paid survey, and they will be paid for doing a good work. Whereas it is a hypothetical creation, because that survey is also fake. It is created, and people made to believe that this is the party who is going to win, and that's how they are winning election, right? So now paid ke baad, let's go to the another dimension. They are basically using caste, creed and religion to divide and create them as a vote bank, create fear, create riots, and posing themselves they are the savior, though they are not. Here I am making a reference to the BJP. They are projecting that they are savior of Hindus. I say they are not. They are absolutely not. Had they been the savior of the Hindus, they would have repealed Worship Places Act 1991, which has been created by a coalition government of the Narasimha Rao, right? Which has taken away your right. Being a lawyer, you will appreciate it better. The section 4 of that law act says that no court shall take the cognizance. So court are debarred from taking cognizance. तो इसने तो आपको जो है दया न्याय की भीख मांगने का भी हक छुड़ा लिया आपसे. आप तो बड़े गुलाम हो गए कि नहीं हो गए? अच्छा ये बताइए, आपकी जो है ना ढेर सारे एक्ट्स बनाए गए. द बेसिक फंडामेंटल राइट विच हैज बीन गिवन बाय योर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, that nobody can be differentiated or discriminated on the basis of caste, creed, race or religion. Then Waqf board कैसे continue कर गया? It should have been the day constitution has come into the power, it should have been quashed, because it is ultra virus. It is infringement of the fundamental right. Do you agree with that? How that minority commission has come into the play, how this minority ministry has come to into play, how that 15 point, 20 point. If in last 1000 years, if anybody is suffering continuously, it is Hindus, their culture, their Vedic knowledge. So after the independence, when Muslim got their own country, there was every right that interests of the Hindus should have been protected in India. Do you agree with this basic connotation?
Yes, I do.
So, whether so-called the Hindus, Masiha, have they done a single act They removed Article 370, right? Then why they have brought from the back door a domicile policy which has not been deliberated and discussed, which is exactly on the line of Article 370.
About
So-
that policy, sir, I'm not aware yet.
So you can search it, domicile policy
Yeah.
of Jammu and Kashmir, which said that you have to be there for 15 years and at least you have to have the 7 year of education, failing which you won't be entitled for the domicile certificate, and person having domicile certificate are only eligible to serve in Jammu and Kashmir,
Oh.
right from A to D all categories.
Mm-hmm.
So I am failing to understand. If the purpose was to give them the employment, the better option would have been to give some kind of the percentage in everywhere in all other places. So there would have been a real integration. And the domicile policy should have been exactly on the line of the other states. So, but that has not been done. Tell me, you are again an advocate, so I am having the right to ask from you, and I expect a very learned answer from you. Whether the president is having a power to create any article.
I don't think so, sir. No.
Yes, I agree with you.
No.
We can say very affirmatively no. Even ordinance could be brought, it will lapse if it is not approved by the parliament within 6 months.
What I feel is, sir, president is not having any powers, just acting as a puppet. That's it.
Let's talk specifically whether he can bring in, because I will be discussing a particular article, Article 35A, how it has been deceitfully brought into the constitution and all the attempt has been made to camouflage it. Sometimes it is called rules, some call this, that. So how it has come into the force by the just notification from the president, because Article 370 says he can make any article applicable to the Jammu and Kashmir. That power is given to the president, that too with the concurrence of the local assembly and things like that, right?
Because all the main powers rest with the prime minister. So
power, देखिए, say president is a titular head, so final power is with the president, but it is on the recommendation of the cabinet.
Head of the executive, president.
Yeah, it is by the cabinet basically. Cabinet is a collective responsibility. So I mean, we are not going into the constitutional deliberation. We are just saying that Article 35A, it has been wrongly, unconstitutionally imposed on us. It was removed in 2019. Why they did not collect the courage to say that it was a unconstitutional move on the part of the Congress, which has created all problem. दो संविधान ये वो सब चीज तो उसी के थ्रू निकली है. Even atrocities on Dalit, all those has been done through Article 35A.
Sir, I have to read 35A in detail.
You must read.
Then I'll be able to comment on it.
No, but one thing you can say without really reading it, that president is not having any power to create any act. So to the extent it has been created by the notification of the president, it is unconstitutional move without even knowing the content of 35A. I think to that extent you will agree with me. Agree? Okay. So now in this deliberation we talked the 3 dimensions. First dimension was about the rules, regulation and laws. Second dimension we talked the administrative machinery. And the third dimension we talked about the political machinery. And if we come to the conclusion that even that Raj Satta which is coming into the power on the vote of the people, they are not accountable to us. They are accountable to their only political party, and that political party is doing a fraud with the country because it is not bringing the best from the country for the serving the nation. Right? So, though they are elected by us, but they are not accountable to us, then what is our status?
Yes, what does then democracy mean if we cannot question them for anything? We are not here to just vote and they make the government and
So, हमारी हैसियत एक वोट देने वाले गुलाम की, गुलाम तो हमने कानून और प्रशासन से कर दिया. सत्ता भी जो बनी वो हमको अकाउंटेबल नहीं है और वो संविधान की व्यवस्था के विरुद्ध रोज जो ना डे इन डे आउट जो है तुष्टिकरण नीति के तहत नियम कानून बना रही है. सो एडवोकेट स्वाति, यू विल एग्री विथ मी that this whole system is the root cause of all our problem. So I created one axiom for it.
Sir, just speaking in the mid. So basically, what I have understood, your fight is not against any particular political party or anyone, but it is against the system on behalf of a citizen, right?
Very true. Very true. With a capability to defeat them without expending even a single penny. Because if we will fall in their trap, if we will follow their rules, then as we narrated, we have to spend crores and crores. So if